radio show, and I am just so excited. It's Women's History Month, and why not have the best chick in the world that I know? Sorry to the other females that have been on the show, but it's nothing like having Miss Gianna on the show. She's an actress. She is also going to be representing Miss Fountain Inn at the Miss South Carolina America pageant in later on this month, March 28th, in Mooresville, North Carolina. So this is our first time on the show, and I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you.
And welcome so much. So how have you been?
Busy.
Busy? Very busy. And, you know, John, I want to talk about your acting first.
Okay.
And I want us to spend a lot of time with the pageant because I think this is going to be very inspiring to women and young girls.
Oh, I hope so.
So we are going to dive into it. I'm going to be nice to Gianna. I'm not gonna give her some hard questions or anything. So how did you get into acting?
This is a question I get a lot, and it's such a long answer, but so I always loved acting. Like when I was a kid, I used to like make up skits with my cousins, and we would perform them in front of our family, or like my best cousin, her name's Amanda, we used to like make up dances and like perform that in front of the family. So I've always had this like entertainer personality. But like as I got older, everybody was always saying, oh, well, you got to go to college. You got to go to college. You got to get a degree for this and this and this. So I took an alternate route. I went into the Navy right out of high school.
And thank you for your service.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you. So I went into the Navy, and like, you know, in the Navy, I started working on my associate's degree, and I just really put all like the acting to the back burner because that just, you know, wasn't where my mind was, and I guess I had let people get into my brain, you know, telling me like that's an unattainable goal, you know, that the chances of you ever becoming that are never gonna happen. Right. So then I got out of the Navy, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I went to college, and I'm not very good at school. Like I am, if I was on the dean's list. Oh, so nice. It's just that I started studying marketing because I'm really good at advertising and business.
I believe that.
And you know, I was on the dean's list, and I was like, God, I'm killing myself, you know, for something that I don't even really want to do. And at the time, I was a Zumba instructor as well. Yeah. And that allowed me the opportunity to be up on stage in front of people all the time. And I always just felt at home. Right. I felt like that's where I belonged, was entertaining people. So I was like, I can't do this anymore with the marketing degree. So I was like, well, maybe it's the degree I'm trying to go after. Let me change my major. So I'll do criminal justice because I'm also really good. Like my brain works like that. Right. So I'm doing it, and I'm like, I'm miserable. Yeah. And so I sat down one day. I was 28, and I said, what do I want to do with my life? Like, what makes me the happiest? Right. And I came down to acting, entertaining. And so I was like, I'm doing this. Right. This is what I'm doing. So I Googled, you know, how to start an acting career. Nice. And basically, you know, I needed headshots. And I was living in New York at the time. Okay. So went into Manhattan, got my first headshots. It was a birthday present to myself. Yay! Yeah. And then, like, you know, I got all my my backstage.com, because like when you start out, you know, it's, you know, you're here and you got
remember.
Take the jobs that you can get. Yeah. You know, like student films. Yeah. My first ever thing was a NYU student film as an extra, and I thought I hit the mother load. I was like, oh, this is the big time. Right. So, you know, and I just, since then I've been going, and then I moved here, and so much stuff films in Atlanta. Awesome. And I've been on 3 TV shows up in Knoxville. So the opportunities have become just so grand here. Nice. And the rest is really history.
So I want to go back to what you said about, you know, figuring out your purpose in life. Do you think you were living for your family, like living out their dreams?
Yes, I was living for everybody else's idea of what I should do, but nothing that made myself happy.
And how important is it for a young lady to find her purpose and stick to it and be confident without hearing the naysayers?
It's of the utmost importance, because you will, like, you know, we as a society, we have so much anxiety and depression, and I feel like we all go through it. And honestly, I was at my most unhappy when I'm trying to please everybody else.
Except
and you
for
just,
me. Yeah.
to all the girls out there, like, you just have to take a minute, take a few days, take a week, get away, unplug, ask yourself, what do I want to do? What makes me the happiest? And you know, it might not come to you in the first hour, the first day, the first 2 days.
Right.
But if you allow yourself to have time, really think about the things that make you happy. And my like best advice to girls and even boys in high school is, don't listen to, even if your parents like, you have to go to college, you have to go to college. If you don't know what you want to do, do not get yourself in mounds of debt and switch your major and switch your major and switch your major, and then come out of it and like, you might have a degree, which would be great, I guess, but like, you know, can you actually do something with that degree?
Right.
Are you going to be happy doing that thing? And so that's my biggest advice, is don't go into, I was lucky in the sense, like, because I went in the Navy, I had the GI Bills, so I don't have student loan debt, but I can only imagine had I had taken out all these student loans.
Right.
I have an associate's degree, but I never finished my bachelor's, and I'm okay with that, because society just keeps telling us over and over,
you have to go
you
to
have to have a
college.
degree, you have to have a degree.
Yeah.
Well, why?
Yeah.
You know, like, you can be smart without a degree.
Absolutely. Felt that in my spirit. John, I didn't know you were going to preach today, so listen, I'll just step away. But I'm glad that you said that, because, you know, I come from the same, almost the same story you're talking about. And knowing what I know now, I'm just like, gosh, you can be a successful business owner and not have a degree. So I think when you find that purpose, you know, just stick to it, because you'll get like us at our age and you're like,
you know, because that's my biggest regret is I wish I had started sooner. And I will say, like, through the years, like, I think I was like 19, 20, I would like look into it a little bit, and then I'd be like, no, I can't. I'm not in Los Angeles right now. You know what I mean? Or when I got out of the Navy, I lived in San Diego. And so I thought, I actually got an audition for the Real World. They wanted me to audition. So I drove all the way up to LA, hours of driving, hours of sitting through traffic. I'm really glad that didn't work out. I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, it's one of those things, like, I don't like to dwell on the past, because there's a reason it didn't happen that way. You know, you are where you are because you're supposed to be there right now.
That's right.
But, you know, it's always been my passion. I've always felt it in my soul. So I do wish that I had started sooner. But there's a grander plan. There's something else in place for me. I'm meant to be where I'm at right now. And so that's just a lesson that I've really had to come to learn.
I so love it. And thank you for sharing that, Gianna. Speaking of your acting, as a female, what do you think the pros and cons are to acting? Because I'm going to let you just answer, because you're more film, and I have such a strong theater background, and I could tell you, I could go off on tangent about it, so I'll let you do this, queen.
Okay, so that's a really great question, and it's actually something that my actor friends and I talk about all the time, even like between males and females. I have auditioned for theater a few times. I've never really gotten into it, like, I guess I just didn't ever really feel like I belonged to that community, and that's okay. My heart speaks to film and TV, but so the pros of being a woman are, like, you're a woman and you're a badass, so, you know, it is what it is. We have that, you know, sexual vibe to us, you know, we're always the one that comes out on top, that's basically when we haven't gotten to the point yet in film, but I do see it happening, where we're okay with, like, brutally just destroying women. You know, it's already happening with kids, which I really don't like seeing that. I don't think that that's something we should show, but that's my personal opinion. The cons are, there are and I've actually done research into this, because this was going to be my platform for the pageant. But the cons of being a woman in the film industry are that there are very few roles for women. There are there's research that shows it. There are like 10 times more roles for men than there are for women.
I believe it.
And women will go through longer droughts between auditions and work than men ever will.
I believe that.
And I don't know if this is true or not, but I do believe there are more women actors than there are men
and
actors.
I believe that too.
That's just my own theory. I'm not really sure, but it can be very discouraging, but you just have to just keep at it. You have to. This is a cutthroat industry.
It is.
It's brutal, and I like visualize if this is something that you can feel it in your spirit, in your soul.
Right.
Visualize that. Yeah. Visualize the end game as if it's already happened. Bring yourself to tears with the feeling, that euphoric feeling, and you'll get there. Like, I mean, I know I'm going to win an Oscar. I know it. I feel it in my soul. I literally, I'll visualize in my room. I'll sit on my bed and I'll pretend I'm in my evening gown, and my mom is to my left, and my grandmother is to her left, and Leonardo DiCaprio, before he sits down in front of me, he leans down to me and says, "I loved your work in your recent film," and I say, "Thank you," and then he sits down in front of me and he turns around and he winks to me, and my mom and I I have so much detail. I love it. And then I go into somebody comes out to present Best Actress in a Leading Role, and I'm up against Meryl Streep, Jennifer Lawrence, Emma Stone, Reese Witherspoon, and then they call my name as the winner. And I get up, and Leonardo DiCaprio shakes my hand, and I go up, and I pick up a candle, and I pretend that's my Oscar. And I get up, and I give a speech in front of everybody. And, I hold it, and I literally bring myself to tears. And then I just, I hold it, and I walk off the stage, and I do that constantly. And I feel I have a visual, a vision board. If you have that dream, don't let anybody stop you, ever.
And can I say something? Yeah. Remember this, because when this day happens,
right? I think about that all the time.
I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna say, remember when she said on this day, March 2020, that she was gonna have this Oscar,
right?
And I think if you speak it into existence, something happens in the atmosphere for that to happen. So listen. Go get your Oscar.
That's right.
I'm like,
it's mine.
All you gotta say is, "Hey, Sophia."
Oh yes. Well, and then I'm gonna come back and be like, "Hey, let's do a show. Let's do an interview with you guys." And yes,
I love it. So what people don't know is that not only are you an actress, you're a director, screenwriter, producer. Yep. So out of the four, which one do you think is the most fulfilling?
Although I love acting so much because I love bringing a character to life, I absolutely love screenwriting.
Really?
I love it. So I'm an only child.
Okay.
And so I
have a half brother, but
I have step sibling. I have a half brother too. That's crazy. So my whole life I spent making up games by myself, making up characters, scenarios.
I thought I was the only one. I swear I
think that really helps when it comes to screenwriting, because once I get the idea, I'll write a whole movie in one night. Now, don't ever just do that. You have to go back and revise. And when you think it's done, revise it again.
Yep.
But it has helped me tremendously with just coming up with these ideas. Like my movie Shine, it's written as a short film, but I loved the idea so much, and I was like, there's so much to these characters, there's so much to the story, that I wrote a pilot episode, and I've been working on getting that produced and getting an agent for that, and I sent it to a friend of mine, and he read it, and he was like, holy crap, like, where do you come up with these ideas? And I'm like, I don't know, like, once I start writing, it just flows out of me, and it's so hard for me, like, I don't know if this is con about me or pro. I think of it as a pro. Like when I start a project, I don't like to step away from it until it's done.
Oh yeah.
I want to finish that thing. So it's very hard for me. Like if I'm writing something and I'm like, okay, I got to go pick up my daughter from school. Let me step away from this real quick. But I love screenwriting. I love it.
So I need to be in one of your projects.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. So you are a part of a talent agency.
Yes.
Pure Flair talent agency out in Atlanta. Do you think that talent agencies help bring a push to your acting career? Maybe they can find you those gigs that maybe you're not able to independently?
These are really good questions. Yes and no. I do believe that the agencies are working for you 1000% because they're not getting paid unless you're getting paid.
Exactly.
But in another sense, like they have so many clients that sometimes, maybe if you don't have as much experience as say like 3 of the other women, then you're going to be the last one that they submit for something.
I believe it.
And so I think that this is the most important thing to remember about having an agent is that yes, you have an agent, but you still need to be working, pushing yourself, applying for roles. And in between those big gigs that you get, audition for independent stuff. Take on independent roles. Because one, that networks you with people because you don't know where that director is going. That could be the next Martin Scorsese. And 2, I don't care what anybody says. Take as many acting classes as you want. But being on set is going to give you more and the best experience than any acting class you can ever go to.
Absolutely.
Ever. And you might not be getting paid for the role, but hey, you're not paying either. Like where you're paying for an acting class where, I guess you're getting feedback on it, but you're not getting that. When you go to an acting class, you get into a character for 2 minutes? When you're in an indie film or a student film, you're in that character. That's your character throughout the duration of the film. So, I mean, if you're having trouble finding and getting into films, then I would suggest the class. But if you're booking like student films and just local projects, take those. I still do that. I just finished filming a movie a couple weekends ago for a local production. So I just, that's something I'm really passionate about is because I feel like there's this constant push, like you need to be in a class, you need to be in a class, you need to be in a class.
But
and
that
like,
field work is...
Well, if you look at my resume, I'm booking left and right. I don't even have time for a class.
So I think we're going to take a break. Woo!
I have so much to say.
She counted it and I love it. So you got to come back because we're about to hit about her being a pageant, representing Miss Mountain Inn. So we'll be back in just a minute.
I know you hurting, I'm hurting too. Tell me what we gon' do, baby, just give me a clue. It's hard to read your mind every time that you mad. I'm just trying to get you out of that mood. No, I was wrong a couple times, no lie, but this time the problem is you. So tell me what we gon' do when the problem is you. Yeah, we fighting more than we fucking. All of this arguing get in the way of loving. Your energy off, it gotta be something. We can't even talk, I have a discussion. You putting hands on me like we need violence. A table full of laughter turn to deep silence. Your touch even feel different. Can't even look me in my eye when you ride. I think you guilt tripping. Yeah, don't play with my heart. Every time I confront you, you tell me don't start. Yeah. I messed up in the past, but I never cheated. Even when I had the chance, I told them women beat it. Cause you the one I'm needing. Shot me in my heart, now my soul bleeding. Now we not even speaking. Fuck, I guess you made it even.
You the type of dime that won't fit in a wallet. Break me down, I won't be broke, I'll just be broken hearted. I know I took it too far, but you took it the farthest. Who could guess you take my chest and treat it like a target? I was only being faithful and it wasn't easy. Watch them dance with no hands and I told them beat it. All this pain left a stain, it ain't no relieving. Things just won't ever be the same. No, 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 no.
I know you hurting, I'm hurting too. Tell me what we gon' do, baby, just give me a clue. It's It's hard to read your mind every time that you mad. I'm just trying to get you out of that mood. No, I was wrong a couple times, no lie, but this time the problem is you. So tell me what we gon' do when the problem is you. You gon' love me or leave me, tell me the truth or deceive me. You getting angry too easy. I miss the days when you need me. I miss the days that you treat me to head in bed on the weekends. I miss the ways that you say my name in the bed when I'm beating it. Like a thought from philosophers, I was so deep in it. But it ain't worth the stress, girl, I swear I ain't needing it. Or needing you. Thought our time would be longer, guess you was speeding through. This time I'm leaving you, I'm gone forever.
Gone forever. Whole lot of trouble here. Don't make me barge in. Whole lot of drama here. Don't make me call the reverend. Weather got you acting shady. If you love me, tell me, tell me, tell me. Do you love me like you say?
I know you hurting, I'm hurting too. Tell me what we gon' do, baby, just give me a clue. It's hard to read your mind every time that you mad. I'm just trying to get you out of that mood. No, I was wrong a couple times, no lie, but this time the problem is you. So tell me what we gon'